Hey, it's Sarah, and welcome back to my channel. So, we are finally watching a couple of trailers for Horizon Forbidden West, and the reason why I'm only starting to watch them now is because I only recently finished Horizon Zero Dawn, and I am so happy I waited to watch the trailers because I feel like I didn't want to accidentally end up seeing a spoiler or seeing anything that would give me an idea as to how Horizon Zero Dawn 1 would end. So that's why we're doing this right now, just right now. And I'm excited. I'm also excited that I don't really have to wait for the game because it's coming out next week already. But speaking of the game, it would be cool if I can see this. Like, first of all, it would be so cool if I can override the Stormbird and, ride it. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. That means that they would have to put in that much more effort in what it would be like to fly that Stormbird then. But I don't know. If ever that is an option, I hope I don't see it here in the trailer, because if I see it here in the trailer, it wouldn't be as, it would be much cooler if I can discover it while playing the game. Another thing is if I could customize the weapons wheel, like just rearrange the ammo depending on how often I use them. And speaking of customize, if I could also customize the D-pad, that would be cool. Oh yeah, an auto run. So it would be cool if they put in an option that you could auto run. Like, the problem that I have with toggling the L3 button is sometimes with Aloy, like, I accidentally end up toggling our L3, and then from running she starts walking, and then sometimes I want to do a slide but then she's walking, so instead of doing a slide she crouches. I mean, like, just that, like, like at the heat of the moment, I would want to be able to slide if I wanted to do that. Yeah, the melee. So the thing is, I love doing melee attacks, and I know Aloy loves using her bow and the arrow, but the melee animations are just also nice. And the problem here for me is that I feel like the risk that I take doing melee on my enemies doesn't correlate with the damage that my enemy gets. So hopefully for Forbidden West, they make it more rewarding for people who do melee on their enemies. So yeah. And speaking of melee, if you could also block and parry attacks that are incoming, that would be so cool. It would make it, I love parrying. I love practicing to parry. I find it so satisfying when I parry. I feel like I got my parrying hype from God of War. But anyway, that's for another time. Okay, ready? Oops. This is for Horizon Forbidden West Meet the Cast. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Peggy 16.
Oh. Eee, it was Carrie-Anne Moss. Cool. Oh. Hey, Ashley Birch!
It feels really amazing to be reprising this role. Aloy is such a rich and interesting character. I think I really got into a rhythm with her, and sort of now I know where she sits and I know how to access her. Putting her in this new context, she's learned so much about herself from the first game and about the world, and now she has to step into this new role with different stakes. It's a bit of a balancing act.
Oh, it's so
in terms of,
badass!
you want her to feel like the same Aloy, but also a lot has changed.
That's not exactly a denial, Silence.
Take it any way you want.
Aloy and Sylens' relationship is so fun because it's so adversarial. They kind of need each other. So there is this really fun push and pull. Which is I hate this
that's
guy,
true.
but
That's
I need
true.
This guy.
I've had challenges of my own these past 6 months, Aloy. The
Zavala!
difference is I've made progress. I love playing characters that are super smart and super complex.
This is my first time hearing him talk
Playing
normally.
a character that's got a lot of mystery to it, or layers to it, for me, I think that's kind of the actor's dream. Sylens is such an egomaniac when it comes to his intellect. He rarely thinks of anyone as being his equal. In some ways, coming back to the
That's
role
true.
was like having to learn the psychology and the rhythm of the character all over again. In that way, it was a challenge. But by the same token, being part of a game that has such a fascinating world and tells such a cool story, being able to do it again, it's just great.
Kotalo.
Let's see how this thing likes the taste of metal!
Kotalo is a warrior who has kind of had his life turned
He
upside
sounds so
down
different
and finds
from what
himself
he said just
when
now.
he encounters Aloy at a point of real crisis. The Tenakth as a people have found themselves separated into 3 major clans. Kotalo's chief has come to a vision of a better future where the tribes, instead of constantly fighting against each other, come together in a form of peace so that everyone can live together. Kotalo's primary mission is to champion his chief's cause and see if he can rally the tribes together.
Wait, that's Carrie Ann Moss's
I
character.
really love playing manipulative people.
Ooh!
I play this very interesting character named Tilda, who's quite a dynamic character. As an artist, there's a lot of freedom in doing something like this. You get to be in the moment, getting thrown direction by the director, getting to try it over and over again. Felt like creatively it was really fun. There's a lot of mystery to her. I don't want to say too much, but she's an interesting character. I loved playing her.
Because
Blood
she was
spilled
manipulative?
calls for blood spilled. If the ground is cursed, then let our vengeance sanctify it.
Val has been on a heck of a journey. I think the writers are doing a really wonderful job of
He's British.
keeping him evolving and developing. Now that he's got a taste of knowledge, he wants to know more and more. As he grows up and gets older, he's becoming more assertive, more sure of himself, and perhaps more willing to challenge Aloy, which I think is a healthy complement to like Aloy's kind of incredible drive.
Are they
and
dating?
focus.
When we met, I thought I was a big shot talking to a pretty girl hidden away in the middle of nowhere. And now I see I was just lucky to get a minute of your time. Aloy saved Erend, 100%. After the big battle at the end of Horizon Zero Dawn, she disappears. And Erend's like, well, where did you go? Well, hey, why'd you leave me there? And so they have a little bit of a fractious relationship, which is quite an interesting thing to play. But ultimately, he's a very loyal supporter to some huge story arcs in the next one, which sort of blew my mind when I realized what they were doing.
Val and Erend's friendship really develops in this new story.
They really have to team up to support Aloy in what is quite a time-sensitive quest that she's on. When they're supporting Aloy, they can both bring very different things to the table. Well, Val can bring things to the table, and then Erend breaks the table with a hammer. My relationship with John McMillan is very similar to Erend's relationship with Val. Take away the American accents, it's identical.
We've had some really fun times, like on set and just hanging out afterwards. He's a good dude. Shout out John Hopkins.
Oh, this is like the dream. I want to work on a set like that.
Our cast has expanded in this game, and we've gotten to do a lot of work together on the stage, which has been awesome. We had a shoot recently that had 10 people, which is the most I've ever worked with on a stage.
When you get to go into what we call the volume, the big grey room with all the cameras where you're wearing the little tight grey suits covered in dots, it is such a privilege because you really get to look the other actor in the eye.
There's something about like being in the same space, and the way that someone can perform something that gets under your skin or whatever and bring something out in you that you didn't anticipate it's always so fun.
It's much more like a theatrical performance in that we're all kind of keeping the ball up in the air together.
It shows in the work that ends up on screen as well because it feels much more embedded.
I'm excited,
Watching the
bro.
way concept art and like environmental art and the directing team helped me shape Kotalo and go from this powerful but still unformed idea of who Kotalo is to seeing him like actually on the screen. It blows my mind. I would never be able to create Kotalo like that by myself.
I think that fans are going to be blown away by Horizon Forbidden West.
I'm really intrigued to experience his fans' reaction, not so much to who Silence is, but what's he gonna do next?
Yeah,
The
we
story
know
really
who
interested
Silence is
me. I
already.
think it's a fascinating journey to go on. I'm interested to see how people react to Aloy and this version of her story and the sort of stuff that comes up over the course of the game.
Oh, yeah, I'm
As
excited
a
to
fan,
swim.
I'm super excited because the creatures are just gonna get crazier, the enemies get gnarlier, the world is beautiful and bigger. I mean, I'm super biased. I like Kotalo a lot. And I really hope other people do too.
It's staggering what they're able to do on the next generation of consoles. To go back to those worlds rendered as they are now on this new console is breathtakingly beautiful.
I'm also just excited to play it when it comes out.
Our dinosaurs. PlayStation. Okay, let's stop. Bruh, I'm so excited to meet Tilda. I think she's gonna be manipulative. Like, that's the word that Carrie gave away. Manipulative. I'm not gonna trust. Now I feel like I shouldn't trust her in the game. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Okay. You know, I didn't know that some of the voice actors were British. Like, I was surprised when I saw it. But, you know, I mean, I know that they have they wouldn't have a British accent because Forbidden West, Horizon Zero Dawn is based in America, is based off of America. But even in the game, they had accents. So I wonder if they're gonna dive into that. Also, the stage that they get to work on, like, it's gotten big, and that's so cool because it gives the actors that much more flexibility. You know, I look at these people and, you know, they're not just voice actors. I see them as actors through and through. Not only do they give us great voice acting, they give us facial expressions, they give us realistic body language, and I think that that's amazing. Then, you know, like, I really appreciate it. It's nice to see that you know, Horizon Zero Dawn didn't have the best facial animations, so it's nice to see that it's gotten better with Horizon Forbidden West. Like, we all know it was 100% better in the Frozen Wilds. We actually got to see bits and pieces of just how much they improve. But yeah, I'm just so happy that they took something which was one of their weaknesses back then and turned it into one of their strengths. Okay, let's start the next trailer. Wait a minute, it's too fucking loud. There we go. One more. Ready, set, go.
The land is dying, and the machines are out of control.
Oh! Oh man, I thought we were gonna ride the bird. Oh, it's so cool! Hey, snack!
Whatever
Whoa!
comes, I will be ready.
Bro! Mother fodder! Damn. There's a part, you know, there was a part in this trailer that really stood out to me as well. Wait, let me look for it. It's right after this. Here, okay, right after this one. Like, look at it. So it looks like she's transporting, but obviously she's not gonna be transporting in the game. But I mean, what is that animation part? Like, I think it's her. Is that gonna be how the menu's gonna look like? And even with we already saw what the wheel would look like with the showcase before. So I wonder what this is. Like, look at that. This looks so cool. Like, so we have here the tripcaster, the traps. What is this? What's this one at the bottom? And this one as well. Those look so cool. Let's replay that again. Oh, that looks so cool. You know what? All of these looks like traps. Maybe they're traps. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm excited. All right, next trailer.
PlayStation.
Peggy 16.
Machines of the Forbidden. Oh, okay. Maybe
the
this is
Forbidden West.
gonna be a much closer look at each machine.
From the ruins of the old ones to its sunken depths. It is ruled by the machines. They scour its forests, always on guard as they scavenge metal remains.
Oh, it's a monkey!
Soak up the sun to patrol the sky. Roam the land to protect its treasures. Each more dangerous than the last. The strongest are built only to kill.
Whoa! That's badass!
It is said there are those who can harness them, even bend them to their will. Powerful secret that, in the wrong hands, will lead to a storm of destruction. Not seen since the time of the old ones.
PlayStation.
Cool! Okay, so that trailer was cool. Kind of related to the previous one we just watched because it was still focused on the machines. I love that particular line that stood out to me was when he said, "We're the strongest ones, are only built to kill," and then you saw the snake like hiss. Badass. Ugh. Yes, I'm excited for a challenge. Let's do it. All right. Next, trailer Tribes of the Forbidden West. Ooh, okay.
At the eastern edge of the Sundom, the Oseram stake their claims on the frontier. Tinkers, builders, revelers. Meanwhile, the Karja guard their border, afraid of what lies beyond. In the Forbidden West. In Plainsong, a red blight consumes the fields, threatening to destroy the cycle of life and rebirth. The Utaru sing to heal the land, but no hymn will save them. And further west, the Tenakth.
Ooh.
3 clans, each as different as the lands they dominate. After generations of bloodshed, they now cling to a fragile peace, faced with a new enemy. Regala and her rebels. Yet as deadly as they are, there are rumors of an even stronger tribe. Strangers pass the shore, searching for secrets on the very edge of the West.
Ang ganda! Ooh! Gago, ang ganda! That's the number one question that I have. Who are these strangers and tribes that are considered to be the strongest out in the West? Oh, we'll find out next week. Duh. By the way, I really love the time that they took they took the time with these tribes. Like, they really gave them their own culture, their own look, their own style, and even the location too. Like, they just look all so different and unique, and it just makes you know that every tribe that you go to, it's gonna be a different experience. Okay, next trailer.
I'm running out of time, Elizabeth. The land is dying. People are suffering. Soon, they'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control. I have to find a way to fix it all. And the answer is somewhere out in the Forbidden West.
Hey, that's San Francisco!
In the West, war is the rule. Peace, the exception. The rebel leader, Regala, seeks to slaughter all those who've wronged her. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. They say she answers to a higher power. He's supplied her with troops, weapons, even the ability to control machines. Machines of war.
Is it Sirens?
Secrets he has, he's keeping to himself. And the solution I need is broken and scattered. Everywhere I look, things are falling apart. I don't know if I can find a way forward. Like Elizabeth did.
All by yourself? Ha! No way.
I'll be careful and...
We're coming with you.
I got goosebumps. They're really selling us that snake machine.
Find the answers. But beware.
This is Tilda. Oh, I'm kidding. It's Gaia.
We're not the only ones who seek them.
Ooh, that's Tilda. Okay, so Gaia was telling us to beware. Oh, I got goosebumps. That was a trailer that gave me goosebumps. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we know that the tribes were fighting. They don't get along. We kind of can't know the story a bit. So there's a problem in her hometown. People are dying. People are starving. And the solution to it is by going to the West. But even in the West, there's war that's happening. And basically, Aloy is going to fix it. But we are also gonna find out more stuff about Aloy, according to the interview with Ashley. I'm excited. Okay, overdrive. My brain is on overdrive. You know what's also really interesting to me? Now, there's this theme, and it goes even way back, but like the dynamic of the people in the game. And let me explain. So like with Aloy and Silence, you know how with Aloy and Silence, they never really like each other, but you see that they always had to work with each other. They're kind of like frenemies. It's just kind of interesting to me how even though they don't like each other, they really help one another and they need each other actually to survive. Same goes with the tribes. You can see that the tribes aren't at peace with one another. They always fight. But they have this thing where they need each other to survive, or they have to band together against a common enemy, and that's the rebels in the game. It kind of reminds me of the world right now, and that's what I see with Horizon Forbidden West. Like, even with these tribes, there's this looming threat that's threatening everyone and their lives, their families, their basically everything. And the only way for them to survive and to overcome this is by working with one another, even though they don't exactly like each other. So I don't know, like, I could just go on and on about this. I mean, there's also like the costume design, and like the graphics are, you know, amazing as always. Like how the characters have changed, the character design as well, they've improved. So I'm just overall excited for Horizon Forbidden West, and I can't wait for next week. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you're most excited about with Horizon Forbidden West. Let me know if we share the same sentiment, or like what you guys find interesting about the game. Maybe there's something that I miss, or there's something that I forgot to mention that you guys would want to share with everyone else. So yeah. Anyway, with that said, I'll see you guys next week for part 1 of our playthrough with Horizon Forbidden West. And I hope you guys have a good week until then. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.